My name's KARRA, and I'm making a music video on a $5,000 budget. And you are coming along for the ride. You're gonna see the entire music video creation from start to finish. I've broken it down into 10 simple steps. Well, the 10th step is the final results, but you get the point. So when you hear this sound, that means we've just spent some of our $5,000 budget. So will we stay in budget? Will we go over? $5,000 is the goal, so let's watch and find out. First, inspiration, how to find meaning and visual cues within your music. Next, ideation, the technical planning, video formats, length, platforms, crew, and what are we going to be doing on camera? Location, where is the shoot going to take place? Does one spot have everything you need, or do you need multiple? Creative direction, the vibe, the aesthetic, color scheme, glam, and wardrobe. All these things work together to create one unified vision. Rehearsals, the most important yet overlooked step in the entire creative process. Camera gear. This $5,000 budget does not cover the purchase or rental of any camera gear because we already bought all that stuff years ago. Lighting. Just like all the camera gear, I own a basic lighting setup, and I'm going to show you exactly how to use it to create high-quality, colorful visuals that look great no matter what camera or iPhone you use. Filming. You're going to be there to experience all the chaos and magic of shoot day. We have a short window of time to work, and things get a little chaotic on set. Post-production, editing, coloring, sound effects, and any other software tricks that enhance your video. And last but not least, the finished results. We're going to watch the full music video at the end.
I love that. Wait, this frame it. Oh my god, the ending.
No, the ending when he scrolled up, I was like, chills.
I love that.
It all starts with the song, the initial inspiration, the reason why we're all here today. One of my favorite songs that I've ever released is my collaboration with Kashmir and Mamat Orhan, titled Slow. I wrote the song about the feeling of having a twin flame. A twin flame is a rare but perfect connection that makes two people feel like one. Flames are orange and red and look really cool in slow motion. And with just that little bit of thinking, we already have a great color scheme and object with symbolism. I started thinking of ways that I can film fire and film dancing. And so naturally, I thought, why don't we put those two things together and try fire dancing? But there's one small problem. I have no clue how to fire dance. But luckily, I live in Las Vegas, which is basically a giant circus cosplaying as a city, so obscure services are surprisingly easy to find. I contacted my choreographer and dance instructor, Allison, and she said she knew the exact people for the job.
Wow.
Introducing Bridget and Taylor, the fire dancing experts and backup dancers who will be guiding and supporting me through the performance choreographed by Allison.
6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes.
The next step of pre-production is ideation, collecting your ideas. The song itself is only about 2.5 minutes long, so that means we don't have a ton of time to fill, which is perfect for a lower budget. The final destination for our video is YouTube, which means we're filming horizontally. However, if your primary focus was TikTok or Instagram, you should capture everything vertically. The idea that we're planning requires a total crew of myself plus 6 people, a camera operator, 2 dancers, 1 choreographer, a fire safety guy on standby for emergencies, a BTS camera guy to capture the documentary you're watching now, plus a photographer, because photo carousels always perform great on social media. Without sharing individual prices, the camera half of the crew costs about $1,050. We'll get to the dancers and choreographer later. The next part we need to figure out is location. Where are we going to do this? If you live near the wilderness and you want to save budget, you can plan an outdoor video shoot. This not only saves you money on location rentals, but also lighting equipment, as the best lighting in the world is actually free, the sun. However, this comes with a major double-edged sword. Not all weather is good weather. Wind and rain on video shoot day is usually a no-go. Dust blowing in the wind on shoot day, well, just ask me about that time I took a red cinema camera out to the desert to film myself singing a song on a camel. What's up, guys? I'm KARRA, and I'm about to sing my new song, No Evil, on a camel. Yeah, not my brightest idea. But it did become my first YouTube upload, and everybody starts somewhere. And my somewhere is in a dust storm on a camel. But back to today's music video. Checking the weather is only reliable within about 7 days of our video shoot. But with 6 people involved, we can't just be changing our schedule with the wind. That's where indoor locations become a necessity. You can't just show up and film anywhere. You have to find a location with permits or permission to film there. Generally, if you're filming in private, you need permission. And if you're shooting in public, you need permits. Now, if you're filming in the middle of nowhere, no one's gonna bother you for money. If your film equipment is so small that it fits in your pocket, then you can probably get away with a lot. But we have gear, and you probably do too if you're shooting a music video.
All part of the process, baby.
For my situation dealing with fire, I needed a location with high ceilings and a location that approves the usage of atmospherics, such as fog machines, smoke machines, and in my case, fire dancing.
Looks sick.
One of the fire dancers recommended the perfect location that she previously filmed at, called David's Dream Factory, which also happens to be where we're shooting today. This space checked all the boxes and easily fell within our budget at $121 an hour, plus $40 an hour for add-ons like the LED wall, which allowed us to project the color red as a background. So the location came to a total of $640. So now that we're starting to piece together this project, let's talk creative direction. This is where you strategize the vision as a whole. What's the aesthetic, identity, style? These are all the things you might want to consider for creative direction. First, hair and makeup, aka glam. This is more so for the ladies, but men have hair and makeup too.
I want to look like a natural goddess and not like a costumey goddess.
Okay.
So we're doing like a natural long braid, but like adding in some gold accents. And
Fire dancing is an ancient practice, so I went for an ancient goddess aesthetic. To save money and budget, I always recommend doing your hair and makeup at home ahead of time, instead of adding that to the hours of your location rental. Hair's about $150 and makeup is about $150. So the total for glam was $300, and they did an incredible job transforming my look. Wardrobe impacts both your branding and your color scheme. When you're on a tight budget, you're probably going to be shopping online for the simplest and cheapest solutions possible. Amazon, eBay, your local marketplace have always been incredibly useful for this step. However, your wardrobe can be as cheap or expensive as you choose. My shoot requires 3 people on camera, and my total for the 3 outfits was $246.86, which is one of the most affordable parts of this whole project. The last important element on creative direction is props. What are you holding? What's around you? And what are the things that you're interacting with on camera?
They'll each use their 3-wick fans.
okay.
And then for you, we'll do you in the 4.
In the 4? Okay.
I think the 4 is a lot of fire. Have you
Yeah.
done anything lit up yet?
I have with her.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
She's eaten, but
Okay.
I got her.
No big deal.
I made her. I was like, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
This ended up being one of the more challenging things to shop for online because fire props are pretty rare. Some things I needed were out of stock, not looking the way I expected, or arrived late. But I got my hands dirty and made it work. The fire props ran me a total of $393.95. The only way to make sure everything runs smoothly on shoot day is to rehearse. And when your project involves choreography like this, it's extra important to rehearse. It turns out performing with fire isn't as simple as I thought. One of my fire dancers, Bridget, gave me 2 fire lessons about safety and technique.
And then you'll just reach
Yeah.
Eating fire seemed really scary at first, but Bridget made me feel super comfortable. But let's just say your girl's got a new talent. Next, we got to combine the fire skills with the choreography and do a dress rehearsal with cameras to figure out how we're going to film it. This is the first and only time the dancers get to practice before the shoot.
1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7. Now let me
So
tell
then I
you.
go this way.
So Bridge and KARRA, you would go right arm, left arm.
Seeing the vision come together at rehearsals is always one of the most exciting feelings of the creative process for me. If you add up all the hours I've spent rehearsing and shooting, that's the amount of time you're ultimately paying your dancers for.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go around her. And 5, 6, 7, 8. That's gonna be a moment where we 5, 6, 7, 8, 1.
You have fingers, you said?
Yeah, we can both do fingers and a palmy together.
So why don't you do that?
Let's go.
So altogether, one choreographer and 2 dancers accumulated my biggest expense of about $2,000. When you invest in exciting talent to capture on camera, you don't have to invest in special effects or any fancy editing. So the main part of my idea is figured out. Let's switch to the technical stuff and talk camera gear. I've been accumulating camera gear since I started my channel in 2020. Thankfully, I bought everything before tariffs kicked in because holy shit, have things gotten expensive.
Bruh, 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 bruh.
Again, we did not buy or rent any camera gear for this video shoot, which is why the total is listed as $0. But people constantly ask what camera gear we use, so let's break it down. When you look at my camera, you're actually looking at a camera body, a lens, a screen, a battery, a handle, memory cards, and other accessories. The camera bodies we use are Sony FX3s, and we use 2 of them together, one rigged for a tripod and one rigged for handheld to save time. The lenses we use are cinema lenses by Arri, which come in a set of 6 prime lenses. Prime lenses look nice and artistic, but don't zoom, so every new perspective means you're doing a new lens change, which does take a minute. This can eat up a lot of time on set, so if you need a lot of coverage with one camera and one lens, definitely use zoom lenses instead of primes. The FX3 cameras have built-in touchscreens, but they're too small to manually focus with confidence. So we use Portkeys external camera monitors that come in 5 and 7-inch sizes. To power the camera and all the accessories, we use small rig batteries that connect to a V-mount adapter plate and power my camera rig for up to 8 hours via USB-C. When it comes to tripods, we have very little patience or time to fiddle with screws and legs. So we use these Sackler Flowtech tripods that raise and lower extremely quickly, but cost about the same as the camera itself. Not only does it help you get smooth camera movements, but the time you save raising and lowering your setup is absolutely worth the extra cost to us. For handheld shots, we're using a Ronin RS3 Pro, which has plenty of weight capacity to balance a cinema camera like this. No matter how much money or effort you spend on your camera rig, you ultimately need good lighting to make good music videos. The darker the environment that you film in, the more important it is to nail your lighting setup. This location is completely black for the first half of the video shoot, and in the second half, we reveal a giant LED wall to fill the background with light.
When the red happens, we can focus on like the second verse on.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Perfect. So
this part.
we'll keep exactly. Yep.
Given this huge light source was built into the location, our lighting setup only required 3 lights and 3 stands. 2 Nanlite mixed panel 150s, filling the background with red, and 1 Nanlite Forza 720B, glowing a warm shade of white through a lantern filter. Lanterns are a great attachment to spread the main key light evenly across me and my backup dancers. And supporting my main light rig is a heavy-duty C-stand with sandbags for counterweight. This is a simplified version of what we do at home every day on YouTube. Now we have lights, cameras, and it's time for action. We're scheduled to film from 12 to 4 p.m., and we arrived 20 minutes early to unload and unpack. It was a bit of a chaotic load-in because 3 different people were setting up 3 different shoots simultaneously. The photographer, the behind-the-scenes camera guy, and the actual music video. But this ain't our first rodeo, so let's get to work. Normally with music videos, you'd shoot takes of the same shot over and over again. But with flaming props, they need time to cool off. So we would alternate between multiple scenes at a time. Not only did the props need to cool down between shots, but the room needed to be ventilated to avoid low oxygen levels or too much smoke.
Start it over. I need help.
Yeah, take a second.
Someone just grab.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I gotta hold these at the end. Just like
Fingers getting too hot?
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though there was air conditioning, working with flames is hot, as you can imagine.
5, 6, 7, 8. Look front here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, it's gotta get used to it.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
Yes. I think we got it.
Half the scenes came from a pre-planned shot list, and the other half was completely improvised. If you're gonna improvise your video shoot, at least go in with a plan to capture wide, medium, and close-up shots for variety. One of the biggest beginner mistakes is capturing the entire shoot with only wide and medium lenses. For some reason, close-ups and macro shots always get forgotten, but those are the details. So double check to get wide, medium, and tight shots. The next tool that's going to seriously help you if you're lacking in the planning department is a wireless monitor or a basic TV on a stand. When you're framing your compositions and choosing the best lens, sometimes group input is necessary. It's not just about watching your shot back afterwards, it's about everybody seeing the shot before you hit record. However, you want to face the screen away from your talent while filming, so they're not tempted to look at themselves in the mirror, because that never looks good on camera. My favorite wireless monitoring solution is a $20 app for iPhone and iPad called Monitor and Control. My favorite solution for a big screen is any 32-inch computer monitor on a rolly stand. We're making a music video, so that means we need music. So what's the best way to play back your music on set? Well, here's a breakdown of the system that we came up with. A WAV file of our song was loaded into an empty Ableton session on a MacBook Pro. We sliced the song into sections, then labeled and colored each section clearly. To control the laptop remotely, we paired an Apple wireless keyboard and used the spacebar to start and stop playback, the volume buttons, and keyboard shortcuts to enable or disable the metronome. Having 2 measures of metronome click before the song starts ensures you can begin singing perfectly on beat. The MacBook Pro speakers aren't very loud, so we used an aux cord to connect to my battery-powered JBL boombox. Having the wireless keyboard allowed the camera operator to start and stop the music with their foot, or give music controls to the choreographer. Playing the song off your phone can be a huge hassle, so copy our computer setup for your next music video shoot. In our 4-hour time span, we captured all the wide, medium, and tight shots, plus slow motion, and shots with and without lip syncing.
Wait, that's cool.
Yes, babe!
Okay, cool. I wasn't we got it. Okay.
While all that was going on, Andre was capturing the chaos with all of our behind-the-scenes cameras.
Now, Kara, just let some girls off to the side.
And Michelle was capturing beautiful photography.
This looks so good.
Once we wrapped, we literally had to pack up as fast as we could to leave the location on time, because in this world, time is money. When we got home that night, we unpacked all of our gear, ate food, and went to sleep. We had already done so much work, but there's still so much more work left to do.
Have to clean up this black soot on everything. Gotta show that reality. Gotta show the reality of the sitch.
Now it's time for post-production, which includes organizing your footage, setting up your project, editing, coloring, and adding sound design and effects to your footage. Organizing your files can be tricky, so this is the workflow I use to ensure I never lose any of my assets. Make a folder on an external SSD that has at least a terabyte of space. Name the folder after your project, then create a subfolder for every camera that was used that day of shooting. Photos, videos, BTS, every camera you dump gets a folder after it. I even separate my Sony FX3 tripod footage from the Ronin footage, because those are technically two different camera angles. Then I copy my song into a folder that says audio, and create an empty folder called sound effects, and another empty folder called stock footage. What goes in here, you may ask? Well, there's tons of third-party websites like Artlist that give you access to a massive catalog of video production, sound effects, and stock footage. Just out of curiosity, I typed in fire to see if anything matched the vibe of my shoot. And turns out they had tons of cool fire shots and macro shots that we would have never had time or the equipment to shoot on location. It even matches the black background perfectly. And this girl kind of looks like someone I would totally hire to be in the music video. So maybe she'll make a guest appearance in the final edit. Our editing software of choice is DaVinci Resolve. We've spent years using Final Cut and Adobe Premiere, and we can confidently say that this is our favorite editing app. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how I use it. First, I create a new timeline called Slow Music Video with my 4K resolution and frame rate at 29.97. This is the camera frame rate setting I choose for all my content in 2026. Then drag and drop all my camera folders from Finder into the DaVinci sidebar. Next, I drop all my footage onto the timeline to assign unique colors for each group of footage. Clip colors help me tell my different cameras apart as I edit and color grade. Speaking of color grading, next I switch to the DaVinci Color tab and apply my basic Sony preset to every clip. This preset converts the raw-looking S-Log3 footage into a more finished-looking Rec 709 color space, then spend a few minutes adjusting the brightness of each shot to match the rest. I also dig through my collection of LUTs to see if anything adds a subtle something that I like. When I use a LUT, it's usually only 10, 20, or 30% because I like my color grades to feel natural and neutral. I'm not a professional video colorist, and there's a good chance you aren't either, so I recommend leaning into lighting, set design, and wardrobe to establish nice colors in camera as you shoot. All my footage is looking colorful and consistent, so it's time to stock all my takes into a pile and actually edit. DaVinci has an amazing audio sync feature that makes aligning your footage to your music almost instant. Every performance shot gets added to the big stack of takes. In all the non-lip syncing shots, dancing, slow motion fire visuals, stock footage, and B-roll get laid out side by side on the timeline for easy skimming. Now we're ready to shorten hours of footage down to just 2.5 minutes. I cut my favorite bits from each take and paste them on the bottom layer to build a basic arrangement. As I edit, I always listen for visual cues in the music, like loud parts and quiet parts to emphasize with visuals. Sprinkle in a few stock footage clips from Artlist, plus sound effects throughout the edit. Those special macro moments and effects really help punctuate your actual footage. And for this song, I emphasize the slowness by using long crossfades to blend multiple shots together, like this. Sometimes the simplest video effects work the best. And altogether, my finished timeline looks like this. By this point, we've come a long way, but it's time for the most rewarding part of the entire process, which is watching the final results. So without further ado, let's rewind to the very beginning and take a first look at my music video for Slow.
When
So there you have making a music video on a $5,000 budget. What was the grand total expense for this video? $4,631.81. So we were technically under budget, which means we have about $300 for promo. Or you can take the whole crew out for dinner. A special heartwarming thanks to my talented crew, cast, and of course the producers of Slow, Kashmir, and Mamat Orhan. Subscribe to my channel so you get a notification for my next upload.
I love it.
I know you told me not to get close, but I got close.
And I'll catch you guys next time in another video.